Hello and welcome to you all, my dear friends. I hope you're doing very well. We are back here in Rontown doing Sunshine Tidings Co-op version 2.0. Let's turn the menus back on. I hope, as always, you have done very well from between this video and the last. I don't know what I'm even saying. Hello, we're back at Sunshine Tidings. I hope you enjoyed the first episode, the little introductory tour, I suppose we'll call it, for lack of a better term. And here we are, doing some more stuff. I've been working a little bit off camera. You may notice, or you may not notice, things are looking a little bit different. I'm not really sure. But I have been, I suppose more than anything, touring the facilities. Having a look around. And I'm trying to get a scope of what we can do here. It was fast occurring to me as I was walking around and sort of scoping this out that basically it would be a real shame to adhere to the, I suppose, old rules that we followed in sim settlements back in the day, not least of which because we are using all settlements extended. You'll see we have loads and loads of space. I had a more thorough look in terms of the size and scope of how much room we have, and like for example in this back corner, it goes for freaking miles. Like, excuse me, I'm too excited. It's huge. It's huge. Look at this. There's more than I know what to do with. But, yeah, because, you know, thinking back on how things went the first time I built here, obviously it was in the normal settlement bounds, and so we were quite restricted in terms of what we could do, naturally. And so to that end, there are probably several suboptimal building choices that are kind of, I suppose, lingering as old vestiges of how we did things back then. In particular, I'm thinking this here, for example, these three plots here, which kind of formed this alleyway back in the day, we could easily change or just maybe remove these. And I'm thinking of removing these two altogether. This was like our little industrial zone, as I mentioned last episode.
Scaffolding? This shit is basically Satan's building material.
It's so confusing hearing my voice over Ron's. He's getting tilted about scaffolding, which we are liable to do. I was messing around with some plots here because, like, I was noticing how nice and flat the floor was, right? So we can have a nice sort of... This was part of the original plan, was like a walkway through here with a little alleyway back here. Buddy. And we could probably do the same here, so... God, why am I dying? We could probably do the same thing around here. Change this to a series of, like maybe another series of shops, or something of that matter, something of that nature, rather. So have a few shops there, and like have a little commercial district that goes around this sort of central thingamabob. You could argue that this is like maybe like the, what do you call it? Like the nerve center of Rontown, and so maybe you'd have like a military sort of vibe around here. But I don't know. That seems a bit heavy-handed, but we'll see. Maybe we'll incorporate some of that too. But I've been trying to plan out roughly where we can put stuff. I've set up a couple of farms in here, off camera, because this seemed like a cool structure to use, and that seems kind of nifty, right? And they sort of just hollowed this out and started using it, so we'll probably put a few more farms here, and we've got heaps of space back here. So like this is a whole farming area, and if we have more food than we know what to do with, we can always just put houses around here. And that's the whole thing as well. If any of you caught, I'm outside the buildable area. If any of you caught the building we were doing at Red Rocket using all settlements extended, I kind of use this theory of kind of building in nodes, I suppose, for lack of a better term. At least that's how I was conceiving of it. In an attempt to make fencing and settlement boundaries look more interesting, I would have sort of a substructure made out of wood and then incorporate housing into that, and it ended up looking really cool. So you kind of get a functional or semi-functional fence incorporated into a functional area for plots as well. So I'm going to try my best at that as well. Geez, it goes really far up here too. I didn't notice. Whoa, get out of here. Oh wow, we come pretty much right up to these blokes here. I'm surprised I haven't tilted them. There's, what, a gunner's up there, right? my recording keeps misbehaving. I hope it's okay. It doesn't look too laggy, but as always, let me know. Also, let me know about the face cam. I thought it'd be a fun new thing to incorporate back here on the YouTubes, because I've been using it when I was able to stream, which I'm no longer able to due to new crappy internet. So we're back here on the YouTubes instead, but I like it. So yeah, this is the one shame, is that it just doesn't incorporate the road here. That would be really cool, but I've been thinking on ideas for that as well. The only other thing I think I've really done off camera is just tidy up some of the scaffolding up here. It's in looking through this in more detail, I think this city plan was likely based off quite an old save file. I can't remember which, if any, save files I sent. What is this? I didn't even notice. There are a whole lot of little oddities here, which are a bit funny. If I just upscale that. No? Okay, we're gonna have to come up with a better solution for that. I might even do like a ramshackle kind of connection through here, make it all like a walkway or something like that. Yeah, there's all the man. I'm gonna have to. You know, yeah, I'm doing it now. Okay, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm not dead. What was I saying? Yeah, and you know. I was talking about the city plan stuff. And yeah, no knock, of course, on the work that's been done to create this city plan, because I gave him nothing. My participation in this mod started and ended, I suppose, with the creation of Ron. But in terms of the mod itself, voiceover, that was all I did. And so, I didn't give him an updated save file. I didn't have an updated save file to supply to King Gath and Co. So it's pretty damn close from what I remember. But there are all these little funny oddities, in no small part because I've always been a user of Place Everywhere, Place Anywhere, whatever it's called. And so there's probably a lot of little wonky things that just don't quite work out when trying to make a city plan that will work for non-Place Everywhere users. Place Anywhere, god dang it. But anyway, I tidied all of this up, so it kind of flows a bit more. Realigned all this scaffolding here mostly. What? See, I don't know how this sort of stuff happens. This is very, very confusing to me. It's on a tilt, but I wouldn't have done that. I was never a bloke that used those particular functions in Place Anywhere to like tilt things back in the day. I was way too nervous about breaking stuff, basically. So yeah, just even this out. And then I was just experimenting with how we might be able to bridge to a sort of second area, another set of scaffolding, because I thought it would be really cool. If we work our way basically up towards these, I guess, water towers or like grain silos, I don't know what they might be, but work up toward in that direction, have this nice and high off the ground. We might even put some stairs that go in this sort of direction so we get a little more height map. And then this can become like a dingy sort of alleyway kind of situation if we put some walls up in here. Maybe even use this underbelly kind of section here. Could be really, really cool. See, the scaffolding is nice and wide and sparse, so we've got a good... What the?
Nice.
I mean, yeah, sure. Must have been in the what's it called? In the cabin that was here. Lol. It's fine. So yeah, what am I doing? That could be really, really cool. Not that we're sort of short for space, but we could put more residential there, or do some internal plots to make it look like a I'm always been a fan of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Rain. Like, not ghetto. I don't want to say ghetto. That's a horrible word. But like an underclass that kind of develops here. Like they don't have proper houses. They only just live in all the dingy corners and that kind of thing. Yeah, but we're not sort of lacking for space by any stretch of the imagination. So, but then yeah, I can't fall into the trap of feeling like I need to use every square inch. Like, oh my god, we got to build all the way to here. Like that's ridiculous. But taking advantage of the space still, because there's no need for us to cram everything into all these little corners. we'll do a little bit of building of stuff together. I don't know. I want to maybe try the spawn settler button. I don't know how cheaty that is. Like, we're not really, like, I might like soft play the whole conqueror thing, but like just for a bit of a mix up, but I don't want to go, I want to focus more on the building and sort of reminiscing about the time gone by, I suppose, of Rontown, and sort of redux it, you know, do a version 2 and see how it turns out. So that's going to be our main focus. So I don't know if I'm going to spawn settlers in to kind of just try and usher that along. We'll see. And let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I don't want to be seen as cheating, but I'm not really even trying to not cheat. This is primarily focused on building, and less on the whole conqueror thing, though it could be fun, like I said, to mess around with that. So yeah. So we've got to be a little bit particular about what we end up placing here. Basically something that'll have a nice dirty mound, for lack of a better term. So it sits nicely onto the floor, because it is floating just a little bit. Most of these should probably work just fine, but yeah, well, I'm just going to leave it. I like to leave them to go random, and we'll sort of see what turns up. So yeah, we've got the farming here. I think as we stretch out in this direction, we'll probably go just like residential somewhere around here. Residential, of course, up in this sort of area here for the most part. Maybe incorporate a couple shops.
Did you know Frank once mistook a flux sensor for a cerebro fusion adapter? What a moron!
Oh, some of the lines. I didn't write any of the lines, by the way. That was all King Gath and his team. Or maybe someone in King Gath's team. I'm not really sure. There's some doozies. So yeah, residential up there. Oh, wait, no, maybe industrial over here. Farming over there. Yeah, industrial and like power station-y kind of stuff. Maybe roughly where this silo is. Then we could put some more farming up there. We've got to do some, like, recreational areas too, which will probably just like incorporate sparsely throughout the whole thing. One thing to mention as well is I originally had a basketball court that I made here, sort of manually, quote unquote. I think it was here. See where these two benches are? I think they roughly outlined a basketball court that I manually put together here. But maybe instead what I'll do is use a recreational plot there. As a means of sort of replicating that, but in an actual functional way. I don't think there's anything, unless there has been. I mean, I've updated a bunch of Sim Settlements add-ons to this playthrough, so maybe there's something to that effect has maybe roughly been added, but we'll see. I'll add the most thematically appropriate one in this space. Okay, so I think what I'll do is spend some time off camera, yeah, just rearranging the settlement. Getting a rough outline of where I want things to go. And then maybe in this episode as well, we can work on some new frontage, because I really want to get the entryway working. I've got a couple of really cool ideas that I want to try and flesh out. So bear with me, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, so I thought I better bring you back, everyone, because I'm getting way too ahead of myself here. I'm doing a million different things at once, because as is the case with new settlement buildings. Sorry, I'm turning my phone upside down so I don't get distracted by it. It's too much fun. There's so much to do all at once, and so I do it all. The eagle-eyed among you may notice a slight variance in recording quality or coloration. I did change my settings. That's so pretty. So as it would record a little bit smoother. Hopefully there's no major difference. I couldn't perceive one, but maybe some of you will. I'm just putting in an agricultural plot here. Yeah. I'm going to try choose one that actually sounds building-y, because I'm going to try and match this up. But as you can see, I've kind of got a vague idea of how I'm trying to lay things out. You'll see I've completely cleared this whole section out. I didn't want to decide what to do with it off camera, I suppose, but I did just want to sort of show it to you, vaguely speaking. How things are looking, just because it's nice and open. Look at it, tasty. Yes, I'm pretty keen on that. What did we get here? Pluckway, tell me your greenhouse. That's probably going to be actually really perfect. So we'll leave that for now. I'm trying to make something else look building-y next to this, right? So then we've got kind of this front action in terms of farm plots, and then this sort of back rural section of farm plots. You can see on the left-hand side, they're just above my head. We're pretty low on food, but c'est la vie. It'll be fine. Oh, this is vines from a house we destroyed, I'm pretty sure. And that. I thought something here looked weird. I'm trying to preserve as much as I can and only clear as I find I absolutely need to. For example, this shrub kind of adds to it, so we'll leave it there. At least for now. Now, I did mess around with the spawn settler button. I tried it out. It spawns...
Citizen. What can your illustrious leader, Ron, do for you today?
Mate, you're confused in the system, alright? You're Ron. Who's Ron? It spawns generic settlers that I can rename, and not Rontonian peasants. So I don't know if that's going to screw up the whole Conqueror situation. Mr. Gath or mod maker down below, if anyone knows if that's going to cause problems, let me know. For now, I'll try lean off it, and only use it if I'm feeling desperate to move things along, which is why I tend to use it in the first place. But yeah, so this is looking really cool. There was a need for a few new peasants moved in, so I just added the plots to the. This is all just residential, and I think it mostly just spawned random stuff, but they're all pretty thematically appropriate. Actually, there's one up here that I wanted to take a look at. What was it called? Something to do with like a porch enthusiast or something. I can't remember. Porch Lover by Ruined World. Sounded really cool, and hopefully will look really nifty up here. So we're getting that sort of that glorious height sort of variation that I was aiming for in the first instance when we built here way back in the day. And you can see it's really got that sort of lift to it, especially with the water tanks in the background. But then if we manage to put another layer that's sort of here-ish, oh, mate, it's going to look really sick. And so we did have someone populate this commercial plot, which means we've reached that requirement, that threshold. It's got power, so that's good news. Wait, no, it doesn't have power. I've been reconnecting all the power poles and that kind of thing. Because I'm replacing pretty much everything with the Sim Settlements ones, because I like these a lot better. They have a cool look to them. I use a few different ones, but yeah, they're just nicer. And because they're higher off the ground, wires stay out of the way, which is it's delightful. So we can connect that over here to the grid, because our industrial section I have acquiesced over there. Maybe eventually we can even get rid of this. We probably honestly will. Because it's just a little bit in the way. So that should solve our power issues. Because I think that didn't have any juice. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And then, yeah, so if we head around here, this is where I've started to establish the industrial section. Now, I decided to kind of land it in a spot which kind of loosely, vaguely felt like it was on a path. So if you come through here, there's this kind of bare patch, I suppose. And then you see here, this bare patch here. And the land kind of contours in this sort of direction. So I kind of tried to make it match in that vague sort of shape. This man is stuck. Bruh. Well, you're a worker? I thought I assigned you to be a guardsman person. I don't know. All the people like to... there's something over here that they're keen on. I don't know, something in this back corner. They all seem to gravitate to it. But I've got... I think this is going to be a water plot. This is a cool one. I'll show you this in case you're not aware of it. This is one of my favorites. Ono's lower power station. He's got 3 of them. Well, they've got 3 of them. I don't know who Ono actually is. Lower power station, lower water station, and lower something else, which gives you this. So it gives you the plot on the bottom with a blank canvas on the top to put another plot. I will confess, at least I couldn't make it really plain nice. Another plot with snapping up there, so I've added this extension just to make it so it fits okay. How lucky is this? The pole fits perfectly through. And now, of course, up to Sim Settlements building code, we've got some support struts. Which I get from the Homemaker mod, these supports, just to try and make buildings look a little more realistic. And then I've got something else up here. I think I chose another power. I'm talking so fast right now. Oh yeah, the diagnostic station by my Tigio, because this gives you a buff for robots, basically. And this is a robot settlement, so listen. I think that's pretty much all I've done off of the camera for the most part, other than a variety of tidy up work as well, because this place was a dang mess. So yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is continue the commercial situation over here. So down in this sort of direction. And then, I don't know, maybe put another... Depends how... Maybe we can fit like 4 plots all snap to each other. And that might maybe come to sort of here. And then another set of business down on this side. Like, we've got so much space. We can like go a good ways out, right? And bring this down in this general sort of direction. Maybe until about here, and really sort of try and establish, I guess, a feeling of roads, you know? So then we'll have this kind of inner circle, I suppose, this inner section which runs along the back of the shops here. And then we've got this outer sort of rung here, and then, of course, it goes out to there. How good is this? The natural and atmospheric Commonwealth. Listen, it's so good. I haven't knocked this down yet because I feel like I can put something in here. I just don't freaking know what. Maybe one of you Witwit's hobo plots would fit. Just barely, maybe. It's worth a go. Oh, also... Sorry, just all these things at once. I somewhere around here, I had a bar. See how I've got the open sign? I think I tucked it in somewhere here. Like off the back of one of these, but I didn't have this house here. I had something else. So that's another thing. But again, with all settlements extended, see, we've got all these nice natural contours, these paths that lead in, you know, every which way. So we can kind of build all off of that, which I think will be really cool. Who dat? Suspicious looking characters. Excuse me, sirs. Blah, blah, blah. Look at that. I'm breaking the fourth wall. Got my my chair sticking off the green screen section of the. Oh wait, you.
Charity, 500 caps, or you ain't going anywhere.
We can't afford that. Please, we're just farmers.
There's a sticker.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people. Look at all the blood.
Oh, he's cool. He's cool. He's cool. You good, man?
Hey.
You saved our lives. Thank you. Thank you.
NP. You should join Rontown. Give me that. No, you know, wow! The BM! Hello!
Hey there.
Thanks, stranger. That's more than most would have done.
Yeah. No crap. Come join Rontown. Wowee! I'm not gonna harvest your brains, I swear. Ron's not gonna. This is so weird. I'm Ron, but Ron's in there. Who's the real Ron? Ronception. I can't deal with this. See, this would be so sick. Imagine we could put a gatehouse right here. Listen. It'd be so good. But we can't. We can't. But then I guess, see, in like the roleplay sense of the build, what my reasoning for it is, like, assuming like trade routes or whatever, you know, if we're trying to make some sense of this post-apocalypse, you want to leave the road open for people, for allies to be able to go past. Allies only, thanks. Where does the road actually... The road kind of just ends there. Then there's tracks up here. So maybe this was like... oh, it was a co-op, so I suppose at one point or another it was like some farming co-op, so that's like access to the property, right? That makes sense. Yeah. And maybe it joined this highway here, but the road kind of sort of ends. What does it bend? No, okay, it bends off into the property there, and then it keeps going down that way. Right, so we don't want to impinge access to the road for the people who we like. But then we want to defend it too for people who we don't like. So we want, what I want to do, and we'll have to do it next episode, but I can't resist, I have to do it, is kind of have, like I was saying, like this feed off point here. So you get into Rontown, kind of past this car, you come up here, and you come up through this way between these trees and stuff. We probably will even, I'll try to keep these. I was thinking maybe wire fence could look really cool. So it's like this semi-open thing, but then maybe having it look like a kind of tunnel, like a creepy tunnel system could be really nifty too. I don't know, we're going to have to play with it. And then we'll kind of try and pay homage to this original structure by putting maybe a martial plot on its head. And yeah, see how we go. Maybe even just leave the OG sign there as well. How is this working? I guess that's part of the city plan thing, right? This is like powered even though it's not. If I kill this, will it stop being powered? Get wrecked. Very good, very good. All right, but yo, I better leave it here for now, everybody, because this episode is going to be very, very long. So I hope you enjoyed. As always, your comments, suggestions, questions, welcome down below. Otherwise, I hope to see you again in the next one. My name is Kluger, and you have a very good day.